Hey everyone, welcome in. Thank you for joining me. My name is Marlene and I am with A Room to Bloom. So, I have been contemplating today if I'm making a message because I've been moving through something on a personal level. I have made a couple videos through this process, but I haven't released them. I was kind of just thinking about this and thinking that maybe um, the best thing to do would to come on here when I am just maybe in a little bit of a better space to explain why, or where I was more so on my other videos, um, although definitely one of them, well, both of them, I think explain a bit of what's been going on. Okay, so I have a number of cards here and I would like to do a reading, and I will. But it's actually interesting. I've been moving through it's interesting. You could say a grief period, a period of grief. Um, and yet, at the same time, it's almost like a period of shock, right? Because uh, what what happened still doesn't seem real, if you will. Okay, so here is my confirmation. So the time that we have right now is the date of a person who passed away in my life. It's their birthday, and the time resonates with that. So it's as if they're just standing here with me saying, yes, go ahead and speak about this. Um, um, you know, so this person that I lost, it was very difficult to have someone come to the door and tell me that. This was not an expected passing. It was an unexpected passing. And there had been a lot going on in the overall, um, I guess, the overall scheme of things, with things going in a positive direction and things going in a positive direction, if you just want to leave it there. I know maybe for some of you it seems a little bit vague, but I'm not really sure where yet or how I am ready to fully speak on this. It's just um, maybe, I don't know, too close, too soon, um, too much, you know what I mean? And so when we use that word too, um, and yet I know I've been on this journey for a long time. It feels like I've been being prepared, if you will, for a multitude of, things or situations, if you will. But in sitting here, it was really interesting because one, I'm talking about, am I ready to come and share this message? Do I want to share this message? But let's take it a step further. And this is interesting because I had written these words down probably a couple weeks ago. And you know how when something's going on in your life and you're like, who cares, right? Like somebody will say that, who cares? Not a big deal, right? But when we take those same words and we hold the who for a minute, who cares? Um, who are you recognizing in your life who is there for you, who steps up, who reaches out, who um, inspires you, encourages you, but is simply there for you, maybe not every second, but they're thinking of you. And you know this by the way that you are being communicated with, right? And so instead of the flippantly, who cares? We ask the deeper question here, who cares? Who really cares about what's going on in your life? So it's actually interesting. I have made videos before, and I've done not very many live videos, but there was a comment on like one or two of them kind of randomly like that says, who cares? Or like it said, nobody cares about what you're saying or something. And I know that a lot of kids get on and, you know, are just messing around or whatever. But this calls us to look at the self, and more than anything, yes, it is nice to be cared about, right? But we actually end up doing the hard work. We have to step in and care for ourselves. That's when we are having faith and trust in God. Um, but it starts with caring for ourselves and speaking with our angels and guides and asking that the right people are brought into our life at the right time. Because you may have people in your life who you thought cared, or who you presumed cared, or who you think should care. Um, but um, maybe it's not like that, right? Maybe it is. It's just, I think sometimes we can have expectations because we might care a particular way, and we might reach out to people or whatever that is. But if you want to say shoes on the other foot, or however that is, you know, how is that working? And this is not about judgment, but what it is it is about self-awareness and really saying, okay, I'm not going to put it on someone else to have to care for me. I have to learn to love myself through this experience that we're moving through, whatever that is, whatever is going on in your life. For me, at the moment, it's grief. And I've had a number of people reach out to me, and I'm like very grateful for that, especially like one particular day. It was really trying, and it was sort of when the dust was settling a little bit, if you will say that. Um, and the first day, and so the first day that it was settling, and by whatever time in the afternoon, I could just feel myself, you know um, not where I normally am. And so I took it upon myself to reach out to others, right? Just to say hi, say thank you for you know for them being there for me and my family in all the ways that they were, right? um, and it's interesting when you do that, how your vibration will shift. um, and it was noticeable, right? It was noticeable each time I reached out to another person and thanked them. um, I could feel myself feeling better, right? And so we all grieve and go through situations very differently. And so this is not about putting expectations on others. It's understanding that uh, if if someone has passed over, Some people it's extremely hard to speak about, right? Or to go there, if you will. Or they may want to ask questions, but they don't want to ask right now. Or it might be too soon that they feel like, or they don't want to go too deep for fear of how someone close, very close to the person, would you could say react, respond, behave, however that is. It would be like, am I personally ready to have an in depth conversation on certain things, right? So, um, again, it just still calls us to say, who cares? And then it calls us to look at ourselves too. Are we caring when others are going through things? Or do we, well, like we might care, but we also might think, oh, I don't know, I should just leave them alone. I can't tell you how many situations I have heard where people said, I am so glad that you reached out to me. Like, in the situation reverse, because so many people left a person alone to be with themselves, but it was a struggle to get through that. And so having some people still reaching out, but everyone doesn't know who is or who isn't. So, I mean, the person receiving calls or whatever that is can turn their phone off, right? If they're overwhelmed. They can turn it back on when they're not. So it's okay to reach out to those who might be grieving, um, but also giving them space to do the grieving, right? Okay, so I won't get into more details unless I'm really drawn to um, in this reading or in this message. I just don't feel like I'm fully ready to go there. It's it's a lot. Okay, so we're gonna start with a deck here called "If Life is a Game, These Are the Rules," and it is a deck by Sherry Carter Scott, who happens to be a PhD. Okay, there is one note that I do want to speak on about, let's see, 3 days ago, actually it was 2 days ago, I was driving along a road and this turtle was uh, making its way. And it was really interesting because I don't think I've ever seen a turtle move so fast on a road. So, but it was like this turtle, it's like what it was doing was choosing to take the chance to uh, continue to move forward, knowing knowing that it had its shell of protection, knowing when to stop and knowing when to move quickly. And that definitely can be a way that we move through our journey and also through grieving, right? Just to actually receive a message from someone else who was saying that another person was sort of having, a tough time with the situation because they've just had a lot of changes in their life very fast. And it's like, it's okay to know when to pull in like a turtle does, right? To pull in and slow down and to protect one's self, their energy, their peace, right? Their peace of mind, protect their heart. And then there's going to be times when after someone's done that for a while, right? Look out and go, okay, is everything feel safe? Is this a good time to move, to keep going, right? And so like that turtle did. So the message that I got with that is continue to move forward, continue to put your protection up for yourself and your family. Know that it's okay to stop and rest and reassess, and that it's okay to keep moving when you are ready, right? So that is that message regarding a turtle on the road. Turtles oftentimes can represent slowing down our pace. So have things been moving very quickly for you? And is it time to pull back in, right? Into the self. And so many times we can feel like, oh, it's good right now. So whatever day you're watching this on. But if you think back 2 days, maybe it was just really busy, 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 busy. But do you have enough strength to say, I think I'm going to get off of this super busy, if you will, train, if you will, or whatever that is, mode of being, and I'm going to step off and rest for a while, because I know that busyness will still be there as soon as I decide to get back on it. What's coming to me now is the vision of when a person is in the airport, the airports that have the flat escalators, right? You could choose to walk next to it, but if you are ready to pick up the pace, you can hop on the escalator, the straight escalator. And yet, that escalator itself has a 2 lanes, right? It has one for walking and one for standing. So you're still moving quicker, but you might be standing, right? So holding your own, making choices that are right for you wherever you are on your journey, because you care starts with the self, right? Self-care. And when you continue to honor yourself where you're at, you will notice that others will honor you in that same way. Okay, what do we have here for the collective? Okay, the first one is surrender, right? So that is, just like I was saying, it's kind of like surrendering to the busyness. It might be surrendering to the grief, surrendering to, if the phone's, going too much, and saying, I'm just going to turn this off. I'm going to surrender to peace. Transcend your ego and release control, right? So have you been trying to control an outcome of a situation? Control a direction a situation is going. We have 2 feathers here, right? Okay, just had an interesting noise. We have two feathers, one blue and one green. And, blue, Archangel Michael is represented by blue. Archangel Raphael is represented by green, right? Release control. This to me says your angels are working with you. They've got you. Just, it's okay to release. Let it go, whatever that is that you may have been trying to control. The second one here is responsibility. Admit your accountability, acknowledge your influence and role in any situation that has been going on, right? What is your responsibility? Acknowledge your influence and role. Okay, the next one is respect. Okay. Hold yourself and others in high regard, right? So again, just with those words of who cares? Who cares? We don't have to put that on everyone else to say, well, you're supposed to care about me. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to honor myself. I'm going to listen to what my body is saying, what my energetic field is, saying. If I need a rest, then that's what I'm going to do, right? So this is like the words that are coming to me right now is speak words of life over yourself and others. Hold yourself and others in high regard. So having respect for others and not taking them down, right? Who cares, right? Caring about others and emanating that energy, right? Okay, what else do we have? Healing. Yeah. Restore yourself to a state of well-being. Here we are again, right? If you're moving through grief, if you're moving, and grief can come in all forms. Of course, it comes from, losing someone in your life, but grief can come from whether that is a breakup, whether you were at a place that you enjoyed working for a long time, whether it was a move from one place to another, and you grieve the loss of what could feel like a location, um, experiences, a neighborhood, neighbors, if you will, right? Okay, what else do we have? Trust. Okay, so we have some hands stacked on top of another hand here. It says, know who and what you can count on. Okay? Who cares? Who do you know who really cares? Who do you trust? Who can you count on? All right. Okay, we're I'm going to read something from this book called Spirit, Thoughts to Inspire and Motivate by Josephine Wall. And I opened it to a page that said, the spirit, I think, is a stream, a fountain, and it must be continually poured out. For only if it is poured out will more and clearer streams come. That's by Brenda Euland. Now, think about that, like streams of consciousness. So if you were holding all of these ideas inside of you, eventually you may become depressed if you don't express them in some form or manner, right? So it's like being a conduit of divine information, right? So we have the spirit that moves through us. We take that, we pour it out to help others, whether that we are speaking, singing, creating something, right? Whatever that is. But then when we do that it's like clear, a hard drive, right? So we've used that information and now we make more space for more to keep coming in, and it's different. And we learn as we go and grow through this. All right. So what I'm going to do is use the Guardian Angel deck by Radley Valentine with these other cards about transcending the ego. I'd like to see what comes up that might, be helpful. Okay, so what happened here is this card, I have a couple of them, but this was the one that was up. It is the Six of Thought. The Six of Thought is moving on from rough waters to calmer waters, okay? It's falling under the card of surrender. And it wanted to come out of this deck. I'm not going to read the ones underneath it. I don't know, probably. Yeah, I think I better. It goes with it, I can see. Six of Thought. So this is peaceful times are on the horizon. The storms have passed. And now you can see the destination is within sight. The stress in your life will begin to fade away, allowing for happier times. It may be necessary to take a journey over water or to another country, right? A getaway of some sort. I'm going to just go ahead and touch on these other two cards that came up. We have the Healer of Emotion. So this is the Queen of Cups energy. This is a time to follow your heart, to feel the fullness of your emotions, right? So feel them. Again, this is going to fall under responsibility and admit your accountability. You may feel so compelled to nurture others, right? About who cares, that you forget to nurture yourself. Flashes of intuition provide you with incredible insights. You or another person is kind, tender-hearted, loving, and a trustworthy friend. So here's the Healer of Emotion. So whatever, if you've had accountability in something, allowing yourself to heal from that situation. Okay, under the Respect card, we have the Healer of Thought. This is the Queen of Swords energy. So it is time to clean up your life. Get rid of anything that clutters your space or makes you feel disorganized. People who take from you but don't give back should be released as well. It's interesting that that falls under respect, right? You or another person involved in this situation is wise, insightful, and caring, and has a wonderful sense of humor and offers a lot of life experience. The Queen of Thought or Queen of Swords can represent a divorced person, right? The swords represent thoughts. So there could be a situation where um, someone has possibly been speaking with what might be considered a sharp tongue, right? Because it is our thoughts and our words. And so this asks us to be respectful of ourselves and others, right? Okay, we're going to go ahead and see what else comes up here. Okay, under the healing card, we have the Eight of Action. This is the Eight of Wands card, which says there's some type of a communication going on. The Eight of Wands card is a very fast-moving energy, and it can be that a message is coming in. It says there's so much going on right now that it may feel overwhelming to you, and yet it's wonderful to be so busy with the work that you love. Express gratitude for the blessings of heaven that are taking up your time, even if it feels challenging. If you've asked to travel and take a flight, if you are asked to travel and take a flight, then do so with confidence. So this, even though there's a lot going on, it's saying, yep, you've been in a healing phase here, and it's okay to, again, travel. Right? Again, the waters are calming now. Okay, we're going to see what comes up under trust here. We have the Nine of Thought. This is like a dark night of the soul energy, okay, where somebody's just really been in their head. And now you're being asked to trust, right? Know who and what you can count on after some very challenging times. It says stop being so hard on yourself and turn your thoughts towards the positive. There's no need to worry. Anticipating the worst isn't helpful. Know that heaven will provide a solution. If you are experiencing sleepless nights or anxiety over a challenge in your life, release the problem to your angels, right? So again, here's the thought. This is the swords. So it says we're up in our thoughts, right? And the way to move more into this space of trust is to trust and give it to God, give it to our angels, right? Whatever it is that is affecting us and our life. Sometimes with the Nine of Thought or the Dark Night of the Soul card, people might not be able to sleep well. See, this little one's out of bed and kind of just sitting there by the chair, right? So this person is being very hard on themselves in a situation. But continue to trust. And what we're looking to do here is to get out of our head space and to drop into our heart space. So our head, our thoughts will take us in a whole direction. But when we step back from the I should do this, I need to do that, I'm worried about this, all of these types of things, and we say what feels good right now to do something that resonates with my spirit, or what is my heart longing to experience, right? That's how we get out of the busyness here, and we just stay focused on that and working on being in the present moment. Okay, tell us more about the Six of Thought here. Please bring clarification for this under the Surrender card. Interesting, we have letting go. And the number 13, this is about a transition. Releasing the past can seem like a challenge, but it can also be liberating. How interesting, right? Because this is releasing the past and moving forward, okay? Your angels will help you let go so that you can fly higher than ever before. Endings always herald new beginnings. Choose to allow the situation to lead you to a more joyful life. Change your life by changing your thoughts, right? So if you recognize your thoughts are getting off track, it's you, and you recognize it, right? Then you're being encouraged to pivot your thoughts to that which aligns with your spirit. Okay, under the healer of emotion, tell us why this is here under responsibility. We have manifest your dreams. So this is the magician card. So you have the ability to manifest that which you desire. You're ready to go. There's no need for additional preparation. Take your first steps towards the changes you desire, even if they're small steps. Notice signs that guide you in the right direction, as well as resources and support that miraculously appear, right? So you're on this healing journey. You're healing something that has been emotional for you, right? And just keep taking steps forward, one step at a time. Keep your thoughts positive, right? And just keep working in that direction. Okay, tell us about this healer of thought under respect. Can you clarify this, please? Okay, yeah. So we have the 5 of emotion. This is a 5 of cups card. So this is saying, like, here we have this gentleman who's, working to get the attention of someone who's kind of forlorn, right? And so this is about someone who's kind of been crying over spilt milk. Forgiveness is an important part of healing. Forgive yourself and those around you for any mistakes of the past so that everyone can move forward. Grieving is a normal part of life. Ask your angels or those you love to help you move through the process quickly so that you can get back on the path of joy. Okay. Ooh, yeah, I'm feeling that one. Okay. All right. Tell us more about under healing, the 8 of action, please. Out with the old and in with the new. Okay. Heaven is showing you a sign that it is time to move in a new direction, right? So again, we have this thing, if you are asked to travel or take a flight, do so with confidence. Often this card is because you are not happy and you feel a lack of purpose in your life. This is a wake-up call to make changes that match your heart's desire and your spiritual truths, right? So again, soul alignment, not what everyone else is saying you should do, need to do, and you're back up in your thoughts. What is your spirit calling for or longing to experience, right? Okay. Tell us more about this 9 of thought under the trust card here. Why is this here? 10 of action. Okay, yeah. So here we have a little one who's working in the kitchen, right? She's trying to take care of this by herself. The 10 of action is the 10 of wands card, and it speaks on carrying heavy burdens. You're working too hard. The angels are asking you to find a healthy balance between your career and your personal life. Be willing to ask for help from others in order to lighten your load so that you can take better care of yourself. Straining to make others happy can be harmful to your health, right? Getting right back to these words of who cares, right? Who cares? Who do you feel like know who and what you can count on? Especially during times, maybe because you've gone through a dark night of the soul. Here we have this thing about forgiveness and grieving, right? That you've been carrying a heavy load. Okay, on the bottom of the deck, we have the 6 of abundance card. This is the 6 of Pentacles, and it speaks about giving and receiving reciprocally, right? So heaven opens its loving arms and pours abundance onto you. An unexpected gift is on its way. Accept it with gratitude and humility, knowing that you'll have a chance to return the generosity by giving to others in the future. Consider volunteering for a charitable organization. Yeah, and the next one is the messenger of abundance. Messengers are the younger energies. These are page energies coming in with a message regarding abundance, wonderful news regarding your career, a new job, a promotion, or acceptance into an excellent school comes into your life. You might feel ready to do something that's challenging and fulfilling. The situation may involve someone who's fun to be around and sometimes mischievous. This person, who may be you, is youthful, optimistic, and very clever. Okay, yeah, so we're going to let that be, and then we're going to take one card here. Show us what is out here for the outcome. We have positive recognition for the work that you have done or been doing. Congratulations, your plans have worked out perfectly, and now it is time to shine. Brilliant new ideas will present themselves to you, and success is all but assured. Express yourself openly and honestly, knowing that those surrounding you are trustworthy. Be open to unexpected opportunities, okay? Yeah. So that's a nice message. I'm being guided to pull a scripture card. I'm just going to reach in this box and, well, actually, I can pull these out of the box here and see what comes up. What message do you have? These are really big, too big for me to shuffle like normal. So I'm going to do this. I'm just going to go ahead and pick one. Okay, it is yellow. It says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" That's Psalm 27:1. I'm not holding that. There we go. Okay. I do want to share a postcard from Spirit. From Spirit, and let's see what comes through with these. All right, what message do you have from Spirit here today that would be helpful for the collective? Okay, so we have a hummingbird on the card. So hummingbirds, maybe you're seeing hummingbirds, have an affinity with them or something, but it says, "Dearest you, we bet you must be so exhausted some days, giving as much as you do, sharing your energy so beautifully in service to the highest good, can leave you feeling depleted like an empty well. If it feels as if there's no more water for you, the good news is that we have a plan. Today, go take a relaxing bath, book a massage, read a novel, buy yourself flowers, or plant some in your garden. Make time for self-care, not more work on yourself. By tending to yourself now, you are reminded to do so more often." Who cares, right? You have to start with a care for the self, because when your cup is full, it overflows onto others, right? So, and be sure to use a word that might have caused, and be sure to use a word that may have caused you anxiety in the past, but it is essential for your well-being. No. Say it with us. No. No, thank you. No, I can't. You do not have to explain, just say no gently, but firmly, then go for a soak. Life will wait for you to bring yourself back to center, replenished and ready for more adventure. We love you so much. So that's exactly what I was saying when I was speaking about the escalator in the airport, right? We don't always have to move so fast. We can go, no, I'm not going to get on that right now. It's like choosing to get off of the merry-go-round and go, no, I think I just want to slow down. I use train as an example. I just want to get off of this. It can feel like a fast-moving train, but I'm going to slow down over here. Instead of having everything go by so fast, I'm going to slow down and be present and appreciate each moment. Appreciate the conversations I'm having. Appreciate the nature that is around me, the animals that come into my presence, right? The conversations that either I am having or that I hear because I was supposed to and maybe given a message, right? So instead of all the busyness, we say, no, I'm going to slow down. I'm going to reclaim myself, my fragmented self. I'm going to pull myself back in like the turtle. And then when I'm ready, right, I will check and see if I'm ready to go and keep going, right? So again, life will wait for you. It will wait for you. It will always, that, like, okay, so think about roads. You know, you have the country roads, some people call them side roads or whatever, and they all move at various speeds. But like that highway is always going to be there moving fast at whatever speed. And so it's really at what speed are you moving at? You know, some days you feel like just taking slow roads, right? Because you're just not into the hype of the going fast, right? Some days you're like, yeah, I'm on it. I want to take the highway, right? Some days you're ready for the more scenic route. Some days you're ready for, it may not be as scenic, but it's also not as fast. But like this place in between, if you will. So there is a lot of healing that happens when we recognize what we are up for. Think about those days when you really don't want to get on a highway or whatever that is, but you do it anyway. You do it anyway, and how you're feeling, right? And so it's about letting go of the dissonance and saying, what is my soul calling for? What speed am I running at right now? Anyway, that is the message for today. I feel confident that I will be posting this one like right away, and then the other ones may follow. But thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate your participation. If you have any friends or family that you'd like to share the message with, that if it can be helpful for them, that would be great. Take care.